Ladies and gentlemen, this is no April Fool's joke. Jagmeet Singh has just stabbed Justin Trudeau in the back, and an election season could and very is likely to be on the way. Let's get into it.
Oh, yeah!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. It's the beginning of the end for Justin Trudeau. I can't believe we're making this video. I was only going to put out one video today and kind of let things ride before tonight's live stream, which, by the way, if you haven't already known, we do Friday Night Fringe here on the channel every Friday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central. Make sure to come join us on the channel tonight for our live streams because I will definitely be talking about this. But Jagmeet Singh has essentially pivoted, and he is putting a invisible, I guess, or a proverbial knife in Justin Trudeau's back that I believe is going to be the beginning of the end of their coalition. I wanted to try and get this out as quickly as possible so that people could stay updated. Again, even if it kills this morning's video, please go and check it out. There's some really good information there about how Trudeau is amending possible sanctions within the Emergencies Act. But this was important to get out, and we're going to get into Jagmeet's announcement, but first I want to talk about how we got here, because a lot's happened over the last 24 to 48 hours. Pierre Poilievre tweeting out here, 3 weeks ago, Jagmeet Singh voted with his coalition partner Justin Trudeau to hike his costly carbon tax on gas, heat, and groceries by 23%. Now, as his NDP MPs are jumping ship, he's trying desperately to run from his own record. But we won't let him forget, and we won't let him try to fool Canadians. The carbon tax coalition of Singh Trudeau is not worth the cost. Now, what is he talking about on the vote? Well, I streamed this vote and the results of this vote when the Conservatives put a motion in the House for a non-confidence vote in Justin Trudeau. Now, as that vote was going through, I had said in that time, this is a funeral for the seats of the NDP, the Bloc, and the Liberals, all supporting this costly carbon tax increase on Canadians. They've essentially said that they have no problem charging Canadians into the ground. They have no problem making sure that Canadians can't afford to eat, heat, or live in their homes. Now, of course, the backlash has come too swiftly since April 1st's 23% hike. The protests, the calls, the letters, the emails, the tweets, everything to these MPs' offices telling them their time is up. They're going to lose their seats. They're going to lose their positions. And it's more than anything else that Jagmeet Singh is now panicking, because it's not a matter of extending elections to gain people's pensions. He's essentially destroying and nuking his party out of existence. Now, this article that came forward that Pierre was referring to shows Jagmeet Singh backpedals on the consumer carbon levy and distances NDP from support for Justin Trudeau's policy. Federal NDP no longer believe a consumer carbon price is necessary to fight climate change. Who would have known? Jagmeet Singh just suggested this on Thursday. The new position, which appears to break the NDP's previous support for the policy, was outlined in a speech Singh delivered at the Broadbent Institute's annual policy conference in Ottawa on Thursday. In it, he distanced his party from the federal Liberals' flagship climate policy, which has drawn criticism from across the country as the levy and its accompanying rebates increased this April. Singh condemned the approaches of both Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre to the climate crisis and said tackling it can't be done by letting working families bear the cost of climate change while big polluters make bigger and bigger profits. Referring to the March report that concluded industrial carbon pricing systems were far more effective than the consumer levy on fuel, Singh told reporters that the NDP want more attention on the policies that are biggest drivers of lowering emissions, such as industrial price on pollution and methane regulations. He said the NDP would release its own climate plan, which, of course, is going to be bonkers. It just can't be our only approach to fighting the climate crisis using free market solutions, he said. That is not sufficient to meet the seriousness of what we're up against. A senior government official speaking on the background-only basis said Singh's backpedaling does not jeopardize the supply and confidence agreement, which was reached by the NDP and propped up by the minority Liberal government. But the Liberals welcome what they see as the NDP potentially taking a weaker stance on climate action, the official said, believing it would present a political contrast between the two in the next election campaign. Singh's speech followed the NDP's decision Wednesday to vote in favor of the non-binding Conservative motion demanding Trudeau stage a televised federal political summit on the carbon price within 5 weeks. So that motion, as far as I'm aware, passed. So Justin Trudeau being asked again to sit with premiers after being ignorant to saying we had a meeting back in 2016 before half these premiers even existed. I'm not going to have that meeting again. And of course, that meeting would also nullify his need for this carbon tax because, let's be honest, there's nothing he can say or do that props it up. Abacus Data CEO David Coletto said the NDP shift away from the consumer price on carbon could be due to its fears its voters might move towards Conservatives and Poilievre, who has routinely linked the consumer levy to issues of affordability while targeting several key NDP ridings. So again, this is a panic mode for Jagmeet Singh, who is losing seats. So when a lot of people say, hey, Fringe, this doesn't mean we're seeing an election. This doesn't mean the coalition is breaking apart. This is the thing to focus on, is that Jagmeet Singh is in a deep dive, realizing his party is coming to an end. This is why the sudden pivot, and this is why it has nothing to do with anything he's suggesting about climate change. It has to do with the fact that his constituents have pushed back enough that he now understands it's all or nothing. He either pivots or they lose everything. New polling from Abacus shared exclusivity with the Star that suggests the support for the federal price on pollution among NDP voters is decreasing. In January, for the first time, Abacus polled on the issue. 51% of NDP voters who responded to the survey said it was a good policy, while 26% said it was bad. By April, 46% had said it was good, compared to 36% who said it was bad, a significant decrease in the gap. The NDP has supported carbon pricing, which puts a cost on pollution, as far back as 2015 election campaign, when its platform included national cap and trade system. In the 2019-2021 campaigns, the NDP maintained their support for the Liberals' consumer carbon levy, although they pushed for even stronger measures on the industrial side. So again, they backed the Liberals, all on the backs of understanding that they can only tax people so far. And of course, Jagmeet Singh makes it an erroneous argument by saying that he wants to punish even grocery store CEOs while his brother is a lobbyist for Metro Inc. It has nothing to do with right and wrong. It has nothing to do with environment. This is about lining pockets. Tax scams. Using online panels, Abacus surveyed a representative of over 2,000 Canadian adults between April 3rd and April 9th, although opt-in polls cannot be assigned as a margin of error. For comparison purposes, a random sample of this size would have been 1 or plus minus 2 points 19 times out of 20. And that was to two major levels of federal were providing the most accurate information around the policy. 27% of responders chose Justin Trudeau, while 32% chose Poilievre, and 41% said neither when it comes to the ongoing climate issue. Laurel Collins said the NDP's environment critic justified Wednesday's vote by saying it was important to hear the alternative plans that premiers have, so long as they match the emissions reductions of the current plan. So, again, you see Alberta's doing things with hydrogen plants, carbon capture, all these different things. But what they're talking about, I would hope, is that they want to see emission reductions based on technology, not necessarily by taxing people to death. That vote and the NDP's apparent shift in position drew a strong rebuke from Green leader Elizabeth May, who referred to it as a clear example of cynical policies prevailing over principle. By prioritizing political gamesmanship over effective climate action, the NDP is failing Canadians and undermining our collective efforts to combat climate change, May said in a statement Thursday. So again, this is where you're going to see the snakes come out, right? Jagmeet Singh has made his statement, and this is where, again, people are going to say this doesn't mean anything. It's a nothing burger. Not necessarily. Jagmeet Singh is going to come under scrutiny from the Liberals. He's going to come under scrutiny from the Green Party, which, again, it's basically Elizabeth May. But they're going to say that he doesn't care about the climate. They're going to turn. The snakes of the Hydra are going to eat their own heads. And what's going to happen here is Jagmeet Singh is going to have no options, none, but to talk with Pierre Poilievre, to try and arrange some form of a non-confidence in order to spring an election would be my guess as to what's going to happen at this point. Again, we had Stephanie Cousy on the channel, who had also said that unless Jagmeet turns, we're not going to see an early election. Well, this is the turn, ladies and gentlemen. Collins told Star NDP that he still believes Canadians get more from their rebates than levy costs them, which is baloney, but said there should be an increased focus on climate solutions that will actually make life more affordable for Canadians, such as greener transportation and retrofits. Again, I'm all on board if you can find suitable technologies that don't bankrupt Canadians. Everybody wants to do their part. Everybody would say, if I could be cleaner than dirtier, of course we're going to take that option. The fact of the matter is we don't have the technology yet. We're not there. We're going to need oil and gas. And I've said it in multiple other videos. Alberta has the cleanest practices when it comes to oil and gas fracking, when it comes to refining, when it comes to transporting product. We should be touting that from the rooftops. We should be saying this is the initiative. Send it to China, send it to India, send it to all these countries that are mass polluters in the world. While I was about to say Alberta, while Canada has one of the lowest carbon footprints on the planet. The quote says, I agree with Singh that big polluters need to pay, but it's also important to have a comprehensive plan that creates the right incentives for people to actually think about the choices they make. I mean, I'm not totally agreeing with what the NDP are saying here. I'm not. It's all hogwash, aside from the fact that Singh has pivoted, and it's going to be the beginning of the end for Justin Trudeau. Now, of course, you can even see on Twitter it's starting to hit. Again, this is why I wanted to hurry up, get this out for you guys today, so you had time to take it all in. Melissa tweeting out, holy crap, even Jagmeet Singh is going against Trudeau's carbon tax. Let's hear exactly what he had to say.
Yeah. Do you want to get rid of the consumer carbon price?
Well, what we want to do is we want to lay out our vision, a new Democrat vision for how we tackle the climate crisis. And the thing that we are noticing is that we need big polluters to pay their fair share. We want to stop big polluters, and we want to make sure that there's a cost to that pollution so that we've got to stop them. We need government to take real action. It can't just be that our only approach to fighting the climate crisis is using free market solutions. That is not sufficient to meet the seriousness of what we're up against. And we also don't want this to turn into a question for everyday people that, am I worried about affordability or am I worried about the climate crisis? I don't want that to be the choice that workers and people are having to struggle with. I don't want the burden to fall on working people. So we want to lay out our plan, which addresses the real solutions and using government power to tackle big polluters, and that unites working people together.
So for the consumer price specifically, though, do you want to get rid of it? Do you want to pause it? Do you want to stop the hikes? Like, what are you proposing here?
For our full plan, we're going to release that plan and we're going to present that to Canadians. So we don't have our full plan laid out, but we have some elements, the principles of our plan. And the principles I want to lay out today were that I find it problematic that the Liberals have set up a divisive system where they're dividing the country. Some people got an advantage very cynically. It was pretty obvious that it was for votes in the Atlantic region, and that's the wrong approach to fighting the climate crisis. It shouldn't be that certain regions get different treatment than other regions. I think that's wrong. I also think that Pierre Poilievre has spent a lot of time making it very clear that Pierre Poilievre's approach to have no climate plan, and really his plan is to let big polluters dump toxic waste into our rivers without any regulation. That's what's going to happen. Pollute our air, pollute the land. I think that is absolutely wrong. So I want to carve out a different path, a new Democrat path, one that acknowledges working people and acknowledges the need for fighting the climate crisis, and that it is going to be working people that bear the brunt of it. So we're starting to chart that course.
Okay, so I want to make it very clear here. I am not advocating for Jagmeet Singh on any way, shape, or form. This video was not to try and say that Jagmeet Singh has somehow given us hope or done the right thing. This man has voted in favor of taxing people to death. I call them the SpendDP for a reason. But it's good to see. Now, if you listen to the word salad there, the rhetoric, the head turning, you'll often notice with politicians, they won't say directly, this coalition is over, we're going to call no confidence. But he hints it there when he talks about Maritimers getting the benefit of the cut in carbon tax from when they offered their measly, worthless idea on heat pumps. So, of course, he's acknowledging that you can't give breaks to some provinces while giving breaks to other. And again, when people, I know you're probably screaming it at the TV, Fringe, this doesn't mean that this is ending. That doesn't mean we're seeing an election. This is the start of the downfall. Again, the snakes are going to turn on each other. And what you're seeing here is Jagmeet Singh saying that Canadians can't afford to pay this carbon tax any longer. Now, let them come up with their plans. Let them do whatever they want to do. We all know it's not going to come to fruition because at the end of the day, Jagmeet Singh has said and is making it very clear he does not support Justin Trudeau's current carbon tax. We all know that Justin Trudeau has no sense of his own hubris. We all know that he's a narcissist. He's going to stick to his guns. He's going to think that he can come up with some 11th hour deal to pitch to Canadians that it's all about divisiveness and these people are dirty. We're clean. We don't want dirty things in Canada. We want to make sure everybody's got the right choices to make. Justin will continue blaming provinces, saying they've got the option to avoid the federal backstop by essentially doing what we're doing so that they're the bad guys. It's not going to happen. 7 out of 10 premiers have already stood up against Justin Trudeau. Danielle Smith taking a huge shot at Justin Trudeau the other day, and you should go check out that video if you haven't yet. But this is the beginning of the end, folks. I think an election is on its way. I think it's going to come sooner rather than later. I think we will see one before the 2025 deadline. Let me know what you guys think down below. If you think this is nothing, fair enough. This is speculation on my part. But again, I didn't see Jagmeet Singh pulling this move or coming out and flat out saying he does not support the carbon tax. And again, I think that's going to cause a lot of tension in the House of Commons. I think it's going to bring an end to this coalition because it's either going to be Justin giving up that carbon tax or Jagmeet Singh calling an election. There is going to be no middle ground to agree on. Let me know your comments down below. Again, join us for our live stream tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, here on the channel. I'm looking forward to talking about that. I'm looking forward to seeing each and every one of you hanging out in that video, talking to me in the live chat. I love talking to you guys every week. It's the one thing I look forward to the most. And I can't wait to see you all there to discuss this because, boy, it's going to be an amazing, amazing conversation. I'll see you all there tonight, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you on the next one.